The practice of public relations, it's a career I'm very pleased to be in. Specifically in the military, it's the practice of public affairs. And at Guantanamo Bay, specifically, I'm at the Joint Task Force Guantanamo Bay. And that element evolves around the detainees that are at the facility, and our #1 mission, our #1 goal there is to provide the safe, humane, legal, and transparent care and custody of the detainees. And what's important for me professionally is that the word transparent is in the number one mission statement for Joint Task Force Guantanamo. Transparency is an important part of what we do every single day there, and having leadership that understands that, leadership from the top down, that understands the value of transparency and how public affairs plays a key role in that, is, I think, rather dramatic, rather important, and it certainly helps in making my job easier. Not that it's an easy job, but it helps because everybody across the board, whether they're involved in detention operations, medical operations, intelligence operations, headquarters administrative operations, whatever, just across the entire organization, everybody understands transparency is a key part of what we do there. And so I spend a lot of my time with media nearly every single week. A lot of people come to visit Joint Task Force Guantanamo with preconceived notions. They've never been there. It's very isolated. It's very hard to get to, but we do our best to provide regular access for the media that do want to come down. And as such, they've never been down there before, and they only go with, many of them only know what they see on TV and read in the papers, and much of that are from individuals who have never been there, and so having the media come down, we do take great lengths to show them as much as we can, so they can see the real deal, the real facility, the real operations, and so they can then make their own judgment. And oftentimes at the end of their visits, we'll ask them, similar to what you asked me about preconceived notions and all, has the visit changed their impression? And so we'll ask them direct after the interviews are all done. And many times we hear that it's opened their eyes in a way that they didn't expect, and it's not at all what they thought based on what they've heard or seen in the press prior. So I think in the shortest of terms, I think it's just been a relatively untapped market. You have a military community full of a large number of public affairs professionals, public affairs practitioners, and when I say military, I don't just mean uniform. There's uniformed personnel, both officer and enlisted. There's also government civilians, large number of military employees, government civilians, as well as government contractors, all involved in the practice of public affairs in, for, or around the military. And national headquarters, I think, has understood that they're seeing more and more military practitioners interested in things such as general professional development, accreditation, just a lot of different things. And so they had made a concerted effort to reach out, especially when you have a conference in San Diego. San Diego has a very large military presence. It's a large footprint here, geographically, economically. So you've got individuals who recognized, well, we have all these people, all this opportunity, and a lot of questions coming from them. What can we do to help them as a customer? And I believe PRSA has done a pretty phenomenal job to reach out, and that's where they've asked me to assist in bridging some of those civilian-military gaps in language and customs and traditions and communication. And so I've been very involved and very happy to do so. I think it's important for the military community to be involved in things such as the PRSA conference and other related conferences, because it raises the standard for us as practitioners in the military, and that raises the standard for the practice of public affairs and public relations across the board professionally. So. I had no idea. I was a PRSA student at Arizona State University in the late 80s, and graduated in '89, and have been a PRSA member ever since. And I can tell you, back then, I had absolutely no inkling that I was going to be in the Navy, serving as a public affairs officer. Life can take you in a lot of different paths. But being involved in something you love matters. And so if you enjoy what you're doing in the practice of public affairs, public relations, that's key. Then if you choose, there's a lot of paths out there. If you choose to practice with an agency or corporate or nonprofit or military, anything across the board, again, just understand there are a lot of different options out there. And military public affairs is something that I love what I do. I'm very proud of it, and there are a lot of opportunities for people, again, in uniform and out of uniform. We have in the Department of Defense, there are a lot of opportunities for internships and just a lot of things that are out there. I don't want to get too specific because I'll forget something, and then somebody will say, "But you forgot," or "You didn't say." But I can tell you that the practice of public affairs in the military, I'm extremely proud of what I do and the people that I serve with, and I'll do this as long as I can until they tell me I can't anymore. And I would encourage anybody who is looking, again, whether you're looking to do this in uniform or out of uniform, look at options within the Department of Defense and other related organizations, and there's some great opportunity out there.